and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and we're here today to bring you a very old-fashioned pine tree quilt block. Now, pine tree is, because of the size of the pine tree that we're going to make today, we're going to do it foundation paper piecing, and that pattern, that PDF pattern, will be in the show notes below. So please go grab it. It's a freebie. And I just want to talk to you about, while you're there in the show notes, go check out Kathy at Delafield Quilt Company. Now, her YouTube channel is a going concern, and you might find it a lot of fun and maybe to your taste. So when you go check her out and you subscribe, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. We also have our Facebook group in there, and if you haven't checked out the Facebook group, you should, because the ladies in there, the people in there are having a lot of fun. It's not just ladies, there's a few guys in there now, and they're all very talented quilters, and we're all sharing pictures about what's inspiring us, not just the stuff you see on this channel, but everywhere. So there's also the Zoom link. Now, the Zoom link dates for our virtual sew date, monthly sew date, the Zoom, not room, the Zoom, are all listed below, and you can just add them onto your calendar and come join us and sew with us once a month. So, without further ado, let's go get pine tree and start the sewing. Okay, so we're at the sewing machine here. I've already done my tracing wheel magic by perforating the edge, and you can see that you can, see and feel what's going on here. Now, so this we don't need anymore. One of the things I'm going to show you today is, okay, on these ones, what we did is one starts over here and it goes to 11. And then one starts here and goes to 11. Then one starts here and goes to 11. Right? So when you have all of these pieced together, what will happen when you have these two pieced together? Hang on. Get everything. Nope. Oh, there. Okay, there's some focus. When you have these pieced together, all the seams are going to go one way on this block, and the other seams are going to go all that way on the other block. They're going to nest, and your block's going to lie actually flatter on this paper piecing one. Now, there's a lot of components here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just one of these and one little one of this and a little one of this, right? So you guys don't have to sit and watch all of it, and then I'll come back once I get it all sewn, and then I'll show you how to put all 7 pieces together, because otherwise this becomes a very long video. Okay, so let's just move these ones out of the way, and, oh, hang on. My fingers aren't working well today, so that's kind of what we're doing. And I've also got a backup one. So the only thing we're going to need is brown in one spot. Now, what I've done is G is greens, and you can use whatever color green you want, and background is whatever background you want. So I have my crumb bins out, and my crumb bins come in very, very handy for this. So without further ado, let's get the one lone piece of brown. So I'm a little off on my scoring here, but what's going to happen? Oh wait, I should probably snip this off just a bit. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. So I want the number 1 to be here. Number 1? Okay. So I want to lay my number 1 down here this way. And I want it to go past all this lines. And then I want it to take my number 2, which is my brown. And this is the only one you really have to think about, because after that it's pretty simple sewing. And I'm just going to put that to the side for now. And I'm going to take this, moving this down just a hair. I'm going to take it and sew it. Ugh. Oh, I've got the wrong foot on. Ugh, this is not working out today. All the time I have a wrong foot. So, okay, let's get this right spot. Okay, I'm going to take this and quickly go, start about a 1/4 inch back from where we need to be, and give it a quick sew down. And my stitches probably could be a little shorter. Okay, so I'm just going to sew that seam again with a little shorter stitch. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay, and you just pull it away so you can get your next piece. Now, I have a bunch of greens here to choose from. I have a whole bunch of little greens, so I'm going to have fun choosing today. Don't be too worried about picking little stuff for this. You just, you know, get in there and have some fun with it, right? Because, I mean, you know, this is all very, very pale, muted colors too, right? So if you end up with a little sprig of white in there or something, that's okay, you know. So with this one, I want to do, okay, let's go this way. Okay, so this is going to be my big square at the end that I'm going to lie flat. And I'm going to put a little piece of green. Oh, I can't find any little pieces. Oh well, I guess we're going to get big pieces. That's okay. Big pieces of green that you can just fold in half like that and cut through. That works. Because you don't have to get that whole precision thing going yet. So this has to be turned this way. And this has to be turned this way. Right. So now we're just going to go through, run through our line. Just like that. There we go. And now 1 and 2 is here. So 1 is a background. Let's see, do I have something else that I like as a background? Okay, look at that. A background here, a background, and a green. Okay, and a green. And which way does the green go? The green goes this way. Okay, so I need everything to go this way. And I'm going to just snip this in half too. Because I think this would look best as another piece someplace down the way. Okay, so there is where I'm going to sew right across. And this is not a very, this isn't a hard block. Mostly what's going on here is you will be, you know, doing a bunch of little piecing, right? So now, because we've done this, hang on. Oh, that's not working. Come on, lay flat. I don't want to. I know. Okay, we're just gonna pull this back, get our little trimmer, get this just like so. Okay. And now this is gonna go on here like this, and then you flip it over. So you know you're going to have, it's big enough you don't have to worry about coverage issues. Okay. Now, there's twice as many pieces on this to put in as there is here. So, on the next piece is we're going to go to the tree bottom. And I'm just going to roll this back, just like so. Put this down. And turn this up. Okay, so I'm going to put my 4 on first before my, I'm going to put 4 on before my, I'm going to put 4 on before I put 3 on because 4 is a little bit bigger. I was debating on whether or not how I should sew those together, but I'm going to do it this way because it's probably easier. Okay. And, okay. Another piece here for, too many, that's too small. All of that is too small, actually. Okay. Green, you can go just like that. And it doesn't matter if it's too big, because it just, it'll work. It'll work. It always works. Okay, now, with this, I can take something really tiny like, oh, like this. I can just take something really tiny like this. Now I have a choice whether I can leave the tree go into the corner, right? Or I can put a little white piece. I'm leaving that one up to you. I think it looks great as a little piece of brown, so I'm not going to do that. So now I need a big piece of green to go here. And I'm just going to bend this, or start to bend it against the ruler. And then it just bends very quickly out of the way, because all of that has been scored already by my tracing wheel. Now, if you wanted to, you could do strings here, or you could do whatever you want. I am going to find a bigger piece of green and make that happen. Okay, get these loose threads off the way. Okay, here we go. Ooh, nice marble. Okay, and that's way big. That's way big enough. Yes, it's good. Good size. And now we're done with this piece. And we still have a bunch more pieces of the other one to go. Okay. There we go. And there we go. There. Ooh, this works. This will work. I got 2 pieces of that. Yeah, this is a great paper piecing this way is such a great way to use up your crumbs, you know. And I know people, they always look for new and fun ideas to do with their crumbs. Well, this one is probably the best I've seen, is to just do little tiny paper piecing and sit there and do all your crumbs. Now, this one essentially is done, right? And before I go too much further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay stitch it into place, right? Okay. So I know it's done, and then I don't have to worry about it later. Okay, there we go. Sliding all around. Okay. If you do all that before you start trying to remove paper, this works so well. This whole trick just works so great. The stay stitching. Then you can clip it off now, right? I mean, you can take it and clip it, and you don't have to worry about it, right? So there we go. Get the next piece of green on. And that falls right there. And there we go. Actually, if you needed to, you could just do this by, you know, bend and snip kind of method, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be so precision oriented, you know, that you can't have a little bit of fun with it, right? Okay. Okay, that comes off. Oh, where'd the other one go? Oh, there it is. Found it. Oh, it's been languishing here all on its own. Okay, so now the next piece is green. It goes on here because I'm just following the markings. Now, for my markings, G is green and BG is background, right? Or low volume, or however, it's going to keep it in your head as to what you need to do. That's what color, that's how you put it on there. If you want to put like stripes and then, you know, plaid or whatever, when you're doing your paper piecing, I mean, whatever's going to help you get it done, that's what you do. And I have a whole bunch of these little ones, which are cute. There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Background. There we go. Now, if you cut a piece that's big enough to go on another piece, like this is big enough to go somewhere else, you know, you just hang on to it, you know. That's the beauty of this kind of paper piecing. It's very freeing. You don't have to sit there and go, oh wow, I wonder what I'm doing next, you know. And you can put in like colorful stuff like this, or because you buy both sides of the fabric at once, you can flip it around and put this side down to make it a little lighter and not quite so dark. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Right. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I need a bit more variety. I need something a little lighter, a little whiter. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's some white stuff. That'll all work. Oh, nice. That's white. That is white. There. Now this can get very eclectic and very cute, looking very quickly. Okay, that's the right side. It goes down. There we go. It's big enough for another piece. Oh, now, oh yeah, let's use that one. The greener side there, so. Now, if the piece is too big and it's coming out of your crumbs, I don't worry about it. I just sew it in place and I make it happen and I don't look back. So, I mean, that's something you may want to think about too, right? Like, I mean, it's crumbs. It's basically what normal person would have thrown away already. So I don't get too excited about keeping it. But, I mean, it's entirely up to you as to what you want to do, right? So I'm just going to put this down like so. And okay, the background. I think I'm going to use this one because that's a nice little background. Yeah. And I just pull this stuff apart, but because I'm going to make sure I use that next, you know, on the next bit of sewing that I'm doing. Okay. Yep, this is the good side. I'll best get that laid out flat. There's different ways to do it. You can do it with freezer paper too, right? I mean, that always looks nice, and you can reuse the freezer paper. The printing on freezer paper, you print on the shiny side. Like one side is shiny, the other side is not, and that's where everybody gets mixed up. I think that's too small, so I'm going to use this next. Okay. There we go. Just about done. And then we'll do the other ones off camera so you don't have to sit there and watch me paper piece for hours. And yes, there is a square of, on the longer ones, there is a square of just plain white that we're asking you to put in. It gives the block a little bit more fun. And this kind of paper piecing too is very precise. There's, you know, not much can go wrong here, you know, when you're doing it this way. Oh, let's put that in. Yeah, that'll fit. Yeah, that'll fit. Okay. And, oh. Okay. There we go. Last bit here. Okay, now I'm going to stay stitch around this one before I pull off the paper or trim it or anything. I'm just going to run my stay stitching around. Okay. Just to stabilize all the bias edge, because you don't know whether you have bias or not on this block. There we go. Normally I would sew them together before I would worry too much about the but this one, because there's so much going on, I think it's wise. I'm taking the high road. It'll be better. It'll be better if I do a bigger stay stitch. Okay. The last piece is this, and it can go on just like that. There we go. I'll clip off this end here because I don't need it. And, okay, now we've got our 3 big components done. Oh, and I just lost Bob and Chicken. Okay, so with this seam, we've got our 3 components done. I'll be back when I finish sewing all the rest of them, and I'll show you how I sew them all together. Okay, so now you can see how those little dots go down the center, and let me just move this the right way because I've got it set backwards. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. These 3 backgrounds are going to line up with this tree, right? And and you can see how that nesting is working, right? Like everything's going to fit together so nicely. So we take the A and B unit first. And I've got the wrong foot. Let's put all that back. Let's change feet. I spend my life having the wrong foot on, I guess. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so here we go. A and B first. So A gets sewn onto B. And we just have a nice little 1/4 inch foot. Now where's my foot pedal? We moved, and I stopped, and I bumped stuff, and now everything got moved, so. Okay. There. Now we're just going to sew along the line. And you can feel everything's going to nest, because those seams are going in different directions, right? And that's basically what you need. There's so many seams in this block, you need them all to go, you know, backwards and forwards on each other, you know, back and forth, right, to reduce the bulk, because there's a lot of little piecing in here. And we want to do the same with this, and pull this out. And now A and B, now as soon as you open that, what happens, there's going to be a force or resistance, right? So that's okay, just work with it. It does come together. And then B and C, well, the ABC unit. Okay, and we just line up everything perfect. Okay, now, there, and this one gets sewn on here, and there we go. Now, this gets pulled off just like that. And you can see how that's all gonna lie. Now, oops. This one, once the paper's off, it lies absolutely flat. But I don't have a leader ender project here, because, well, that would just be wrong for me to have that. So, I'm going to press this down, and I'm going to sew this. Now, I have a choice between pressing all one direction or pressing all the other direction. I think I'm going to press all one direction. Right, so I'm just finger pressing it for now. Just holding it out of my way. Okay, so we're just going to run it through. There we go. And now, I'm going to run that through. It kind of goes together like really easy. Okay, so that now looks like this. And then we get this over here. And the path of least resistance is to have the little ones go that way. So then, okay, now if you're having problems lining this up, okay, we're going to show you something here. If you're having problems lining this up, you take a pin and you pop it in exactly in the corner of where this needs to be. And then you go here and you pop that in the corner right there where it needs to be. And you give it a spin around and twist it just like that. Now, the next point you're trying to match up is the middle, right? If, like I say, sometimes you sew these and they just don't pop together really well. But if you want to do more precision work, you need to kind of pop that one out exactly in the middle. And you want that seam to lie towards the base of the tree, right? So you want it to go that way. And then you take this pin and you pop it down in through the middle, right at the corner. And you want to take this one right at the corner and you're right there. Perfect. And now you give it a twist and you hold on to it a little bit, pinch it really hard so it doesn't shift on you, right? So when you start and you're very close to that pin, so don't start like a jackrabbit. Okay. Here, you're going to pull that out. And you're just going to motor along. Pull it out as you get closer. Okay. And there you go. And now we're at our big ta-da moment. Isn't this the cutest little pine tree block you've ever seen? There are, it's measuring 6.5 unfinished, and it will measure 6 inches finished in your block. And there's a lot of little half square triangles. And when I'm up against this many half square triangles that are this small, I find my most efficient time-saving method is to do them by foundation paper piecing. So, I mean, you can do them by, regular triangle method or whatever. This is not the way I would choose to do this block. And I did opt for the stem of the tree to go all the way into the corner. The pattern does call for this to be a little white piece here, but I thought, no, this is mine. I might have something going into dirt here. I don't know when I put it into an orphan block. But isn't it cute? So I hope you give this one a try. It was so fun to work out of my crumb bin. It was one of those things where you just kept picking through and oh, I like this piece, I like that piece, And it's a good way to use up your little crumbs, like your crumbs that are, about yay big or whatever. Anyways, I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and I want you to take care until then. Okay, bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our quilting journey and the YouTube adventure that we're on. We have some wonderful plans for 2023, and it includes a lot more, like with the Facebook group and the rooms feature and sewing and hanging out with people. Those monthly Zoom sew dates are still in the works. We have a lot of fun ideas coming up for 2023, and we hope you share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That little notification button and subscribing to us really helps us out. Commenting helps us out too. So if you like what you're seeing, let us know. Even send us a heart on the comment. That helps so much for us. Okay, you have an absolutely fabulous 2023, and all of our best wishes for you in the future. Okay, take care. Bye.